I am Patrick Maloney, digital editor with the London Free Press and LFpress.com, and with me is my colleague Ryan Pyette. This is our new project, Curious London, where we are soliciting questions from readers about things that they wonder about in the city and in the area, and we're using our vast resources and our contacts and our ability to find the answers to those questions. Ryan, you've helped us with a slew of questions already, and we've got a few that we want to discuss here today. First one was from a reader, Ronald. He was wondering about the East London Recreation Centre and when it's going to be ready. It's long been hoped for, and now it's long been planned, and I think there's some bad news for him, isn't there?
Yeah, Ronald, we wish we had better news for you. After the construction hiccups, the supply delays, and a general contractor that was turfed from the project, we can't nail down an estimated opening date yet. We know it's already been delayed more than a year past fall 2019, which was supposed to be the opening. The good news is that Ward 2 Councillor Sean Lewis, who lives near the new community center and keeps tabs on it, says that the main elements are done, the walls, the pool, and it's only the finishing touches that require a number of tradespeople to get it across the finish line. So I would think that, there's a basketball and pickleball courts that should be open by the summertime, but there's still no firm date for the indoor spaces, which is disappointing.
Well, if there's good news, at least it's almost done. I think it's been about 20 years people have been hoping for it, so we're almost there. Ryan, a different question, and one that I find really fascinating. A reader, Felix, was asking us about the memorial crosses at Elgin Middlesex Detention Center, where I think it's about 14 inmates have died over the last decade, and we've written a lot about that. He's wondering about the memorial crosses there.
Yeah, the crosses were put there by the family and friends of the inmates who died at the MDC as a way to remember them and to highlight the problems in that jail. The first 13 were put up 7 years ago to commemorate the inmates who had died there. Each time another inmate dies, another cross is erected. Several correctional officers have complained that the crosses were triggering their own trauma from the deaths, including some officers who tried to revive the dying inmates. An attempt 2 years ago to bring families and correctional officers together to consider a permanent memorial failed to produce any plans. Each weekend, a small group of family members still gathers and protests at the crosses to continue to bring attention to the problems inside Ontario's jails.
Right. So it's not just the MDC. It is, but it's also for all the jails across the province.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our third question, Ryan, reader Jason is asking about London's mythical ring road. We've heard about this for decades. I've written about it a lot myself. This idea that London missed a great chance to build a ring road, which is not exactly accurate. But anyway, go ahead. What'd you find out?
Yeah, we actually tackled this during the LFP's our 150 project to celebrate people, places, and events that make up Southwestern Ontario history when the country turned 150 years old. Yep. The Coles Note version of the saga is that Londoners have gnashed their teeth for decades over an apparent missed opportunity. It may be more accurate to describe it as a crosstown expressway running from Highway 401, the Highbury Avenue, across London and extending to Sarnia. The province was going to pay the tab, as they did in Kitchener, but London politicians wilted under the pressure of wealthy North Enders who didn't like the idea. Council dithered for years, starting in the 60s until the early 70s, when the province yanked the idea. So instead, the 401 was extended south of the city to Highway 402, running on to Sarnia. In other words, it bypassed London entirely, and there you have it, no ring road.
Right, instead of cutting across the city, it cuts kind of like a 90-degree angle underneath and then to the west of the city. Okay, Ryan, thanks for finding those answers, and thank you to our readers for sending in questions. Please keep them coming. You'll see an opportunity to submit a question to Curious London at the bottom of every story, and we'll also have the link to where you can do it at the bottom of this video right here. Thanks to Ryan, I'm Pat, and thank you for your questions. Keep them coming in at CuriousLondon@LFpress.com.